Let me now give you some tips for making your forms easier to use. One of the biggest problems with forms is that many users don't like using them, and it's very hard to blame them. Forms are usually tedious to fill out, poorly formatted, confusing to use, and generally provide a negative experience for your users. It's incumbent upon us then as web designers to make our forms as easy to use and as simple as possible by planning them well, labeling all form elements clearly, formatting the forms themselves very carefully, and then some additional tips, all of which I'll cover in the next few movies. First, remember to set the name and value attributes for your various form elements so the document created will be neatly organized. Also, remember to place submit buttons with the form tags, otherwise your users won't be able to submit the data. Also, be sure to include a reset button. This form here does not include a reset button. Also, you want to format your forms using tables. The table element is ideal for formatting your HTML forms. Tables, notice, create even rows and columns that are perfect for lining up labels for your form elements, and then also formatting the elements themselves into neat columns and rows. You can also place empty rows to provide more spacing between the form elements. You can color different cells or columns to make the form easier to understand and read. So in general, the tabular nature of your forms make them ideal to format using tables. Another tip is to make the navigation of your forms easier by adjusting the form elements tab order. As you may know, users can navigate from one input element of a form to the next by pressing the tab key on their keyboard. By default, the tab key follows the order in which you entered the input elements in your HTML code, but you can change the tab order to move the user around the form in a different order, perhaps one that's easier for them or more logical. You'll set up your tab order here using a tab index attribute. Tab index equals 1 for my first name, 2 for my last name, and then I'm skipping over the computer type and going right to the age by setting the tab index of the age section here equal to 3 right there. So I'm going to skip over some parts of the form. Without these tab index attributes, the user would just go in the order that I've set them out here in the code. But again, you may find that it's easier to change that tab order. So notice that I'm hitting the tab key and I'm skipping down to the age category. I skipped right over the computer category just to demonstrate how that tab index works. Now, organizing your forms will go a long way in making them easier to set up, modify, and also use. So let me now move on to the next movie and introduce to you how to organize your forms using the field set and legend elements.